Midnight Mass, the brand new 7-episode limited series from creator Mike Flanagan, who is the writer and directed all 7 episodes of the show. The film stars Kate Siegel, Zach Gifford, Christian Lehman, Samantha Sloyan, Igby Rigney, Raul Coley, Anara Seymour, Annabeth Gish, and Henry Thomas, and Hamish Linklater. The show is about an isolated island community experiences miraculous events and frightening omens after the arrival of a charismatic, mysterious young priest. My name is Matt Sindenberg. Welcome back to a brand new Netflix show review here on Max Talks. We're talking about the highly anticipated Midnight Mass. I know the show came out last Friday, but I finally took the time to watch all 7 episodes. And I'm so excited to talk about the guys on this video. So please like the video, guys, if you're new to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and ring the bell. I do these types of reviews on TV show reviews, movie reviews, streaming platform reviews, movie rankings, streaming box office breakdown show. All of these are on this channel as well. I also please comment and let me know your thoughts, non-spoiler, of Midnight Mass in the comment section down below. First of all, if you've seen the show, tell me what are your thoughts about it. Where does it rank for you in Mike Flanagan's trilogy of Netflix shows? Which I'll talk about in a bit. Also, please like the video, guys, the thumbs up. That's how you support the channel. Let's talk Midnight Mass. So I was dying to see the show because, again, this comes from the creator of Mike Flanagan, who might be the best horror mind working really on TV at the moment. For me, has created 3 fantastic shows in the last 4 years. Obviously, The Haunting of Hill House in 2018 really took the world by storm. A really fantastic horror show from start to finish. Then last year, and also in that show, he also did direct all 10 episodes of The Haunting of Hill House and was credited as the creator and writer of the show. Also, he did The Haunting of Bly Manor, which came out last year. I have a review of Bly Manor on this channel. I'll leave a link for that at the end of this video. A show that a lot of people were not as high on as I was. I also really adored Bly Manor as a gothic love story that I thought worked really well. The difference was, now while Mike Flanagan did write all 9 episodes of the show, he only directed 1. He was not as hands-on as he was. But this show, he's back being totally hands-on with directing and writing. Again, as I just mentioned, a lot of those alumni from those 3 shows those 2 shows are in Midnight Mass, and that includes Kate Siegel, who plays Aaron Green in the show, as well as Raul Coley, who plays Sheriff Hassan, Annabeth Gish, who plays Dr. Sarah Gunning, and Henry Thomas as Ed Flynn. All those people have appeared in the other 2 shows, if not one or both of those shows. So I was dying to see the show. Now let's talk about non-spoiler. Now I do want to announce, before I get into my non-spoiler thoughts, I will do a spoiler review on Friday. The reason why I'm going to do it on Friday is because it'll give everyone a full week to watch the show, and that'll give me enough time to do a spoiler review. But today, this is all non-spoiler reviews. So if you want to talk spoilers with me, do so in the comment section down below and leave a link, say spoiler, but I will do a whole video on Friday. Let's talk my non-spoiler thoughts on Midnight Mass, which is where I'll give you my score out of 5 in my rating. I adored this show, just like the last 2 from Mike Flanagan. It's a really fantastic horror, really more supernatural thriller show. And now I don't want to explain why it's kind of a supernatural thriller, but it really is more of a thriller more than it's scary. It's a bit more disturbing than it is scary. And that's what I liked about all 3 shows. I hate that a lot of people keep comparing Mike Flanagan's 3 fantastic shows together because they're all 3 completely different. Hill House is a straight up horror show. A horror family show that I believe is the best thing he's ever done. Then you have Bly Manor, which is more of a gothic love story. Isn't that scary? But it's a gothic love story. It really, really works. And this show is more of a supernatural, disturbing thriller. And I loved this show from start to finish. Now, this is obviously by far his shortest series thus far. Hill House was 10 episodes. Bly Manor was 9 episodes, and this is 7 episodes. Now, these episodes range from basically, they're all 1 hour to 1 hour and 10 minutes. Is the shortest episode's 1 hour, and the longest episode is 1 hour, 10 minutes. So it's all in that ballpark, really a 7-hour series, and I adored this show. From start to finish, as I said, this show is about this isolated island community. You're told in the opening credits that it's really 130 people live on this island. And that's where we are for basically 99% of the show. Other than the opening scene of the series, that's the last time you really see mainland. There's like 2 instances where we get onto the mainland the whole series. We're really on this island the entire show. And this show is so well written and so well acted. There's twists and turns in every episode that want you to keep binging this show. Now, this is not a warning. This is one of my thoughts on the show. This is a really slow show. It has a lot of slow builds. It's a lot of just conversations. There's really one whole subplot between an amazing relationship between Zach Gifford, who plays Riley Flynn, and Kate Siegel, who plays Erin Green. Their dynamic, a lot of their scenes are just 15-minute, really deep conversations. And if you're not into that type of stuff, I would still highly recommend checking this out, because these conversations are really riveting and I was never bored. For such a slow build as it is, it's still thrilling, it's still intense, and you care about every single word that's spouted by a character in this show. And its show is not, also one of the best parts about the show is that it's not anti-religion. As some of the trailers and a lot of people were kind of worried about heading to the show, it's not anti-religion. It just shows a lot of different sides of the coin about how people to religion. There's obviously a father who's played absolutely terrifically by Hamish Linklater, who I've seen a bunch of stuff. He is by far the best he's ever been in this show, playing this father, Paul, who's this mysterious priest. And when he comes to this church, St. Patrick's on the island, miracles start to happen that comes with a cost. And what is that cost? Why are miracles happening? Who truly is Father Paul? All these things get answered in the show. But when stuff starts to happen on this island. And this is where stuff really hit. But again, multiple sides of the coin. There's a person played Bev Keane, who's played by Samantha Sloyan. She is a full-on Catholic and in a very extreme way. And you'll see that during the show. There's also people, as I said, like Zach Gifford's character, Riley Flynn, who, because of something that he did on the mainland, is so against, it really doesn't want to do. He's really become an atheist because of what's happened on the mainland. There's also a character, Raul Coley, who, by the way, was one of the best parts, maybe the best part of Blind Manor. Once again, might be the best part of this show, playing he plays the Sheriff Hassan, who is the sheriff of this island, and he is a Muslim. And he's like one of the rare people on this island who does not go to church every single day or every single Sunday. And he has this dynamic with his son, where his son wants to learn more about God and more about the Catholicism, but he wants to stay Muslim. You'll understand why that happens throughout the episode. But he's one of the more unique characters that I cared about so deeply throughout the show. It's so authentic, and that's what it is. It's not anti-religion. It's just saying if you're Christian, you're bad. If you believe in God, you're bad. Nothing like that happens in the show. It's an extremely religious show, but it shows so many different perspectives on religion. And that's what we are here in this country. There's so many different people in this country who are Catholic or are Jewish or are Muslim. And the way that this show expresses that is so beautiful. It can be so dark too. There's a lot of usage of songs and gospel songs used in a really dark way. But I do want to get to all these performances because they're all great. Kate Siegel, once again, just like in Hill House and Blind Manor, is fantastic. Zach Gifford in a very subtle but a really beautiful performance, and his character is really the heart of the show. But you also have Zach Gifford's parents, who's played by Kristen Lehman and Henry Thomas, which are excellent in the show. And Henry Thomas's relationship with Riley, who played by Zach Gifford, is such a beautiful relationship that is so real. You can see a father and a son going through this dynamic in real life. Bev Keane is a person you just never want to root for at all during the show, played beautifully by Samantha Sloyan. As I said, Raul Coley's great. I want to talk about this child performance from Nora Simone. If I'm saying that wrong, I'm really sorry. It's a really breathtaking performance, and what happens to her during the show is really fantastic. It's a scene in a truck that I don't want to talk about specifically who's in the truck with her, what she's talking about, but it's a really, really fantastic scene. Annabeth Gish is also in the show. She plays Dr. Sarah Gunning, who is really fantastic in the show, especially the last 4 episodes when she starts figuring out kind of what's going on. It's really, really fantastic, her performance in the show. Her mom, played by Alex Esso. As I said, the terrific performance from Hamish Linklater cannot go understated. Linklater is fantastic in the show. All the performances are great, but also it's so well written and directed from Mike Flanagan. Again, some of these episodes are just talking episodes. Yes, stuff's happening, but most of the show is really just conversations. And that's where the script comes in from Mike Flanagan, which is superb. And that's where this amazing cast and all these actors, for some reason, aren't getting booked enough. All these people who've been in Mike Flanagan's other things, for some reason don't get to work. We don't see him that many often. I adore this show, just like I adore all three of this Mike Flanagan horror Netflix sphere. It's a really fantastic show dealing with religion, dealing with what is death and what does death mean to you is a really key theme. And how much are we bribing kids to? Are kids being forced down the throat? Is it a good thing for them to learn other religions? What is letting go? All these different things, parental relationships. What's it like to be pregnant and have a miscarriage? All these different things are all talked about in the show. And it's done in various supernatural, thriller. It's a really fantastic show from Mike Flanagan. My only issue with the show really is that there's like one or two characters that I really just didn't care about. And there was a huge romance that isn't really talked about until the last episode of the series, and the emotion. The last episode is not a disappointment at all. The last episode is fantastic. I just think that there's a big emotional point that I thought I would be more emotional about, but I was not, because they just rushed at a romance that was not talked about the entire series. But I do want to say I really love the show. If you've already seen Haunting of Hill House and Haunting of Bly Manor, definitely check the show out for sure. You know exactly what you're going into. If you have not, I would definitely watch the show, even if you haven't seen Hill House or Bly Manor. Again, they're not connected at all. It's a separate horror show. But if you haven't seen all three of these Netflix shows from Mike Flanagan, I really highly recommend it, especially Hill House and this, where he's full on. He's the director and the writer of both. But again, I also love Bly Manor as well. So my thoughts on Midnight Mass is a 4.5 out of 5. I'm going to give it a 97%. This is one of the best shows of the entire year. Just like Hill House was probably my favorite show of 2018, this will be right up there for one of my favorite shows of 2021. So Mike Flanagan, keep killing it in the horror genre. Dr. Sleep in the movie and Hush in the movie genre, but he can keep doing these horror shows all day long. Gerald's Game, Hush, all these different things that he has done. He's a horror genius. That's my thoughts on Midnight Mass, guys. Please like the video, subscribe, ring the bell, comment down below. As I said earlier, this Friday, I will be doing a spoiler breakdown of this show. We're going to talk about all these spoilers. I'm really trying to dodge all these things if this is a non-spoiler review, but I will be going full spoiler talk on Friday, giving you guys a week after the show came out to break down what happened in the show, all the different subplots that I liked, didn't like, everything in between. That'll be Friday. And then tomorrow, my Venom Let There Be Carnage review. So this is my Bly Manor review of The Haunting of Bly Manor. That is right up there if you haven't checked that one out yet. I'll save you my playlist of my other TV show reviews I've reviewed this year, and also another video that you should be looking forward to. Subscribe. I'll see you guys.